RC friends, how you doing? I'm Jake Billing, and today we are doing something completely different, a kit build. So here it is, the Tamiya Mercedes Unimog 425. This is a complete kit, and I've been sent this today by fusionhobbies.com. If you guys get a second, please just head on over to their website. It's in my description box. Take a look. They've been nice enough to send me this and all the kit, so let's go and have a look right now. These guys sorted me out. They hooked me up. Look at all this stuff. Got a little nickel metal hydride battery to run in this thing. Some transmitter batteries, obviously the truck, which in itself is just amazing. I love this thing. They've hooked me up with the paints, so I can paint this body shell. There's a stick transmitter in here as well. Radio and servo kit. Charger. Brochures from their lineup. A bearing kit. There it is, fusionhobbies.com. So as this is a kit build, I'm hoping you guys will follow me along the way while we have a look inside this and put it together. I've also got a bit of a surprise towards the end, so stay tuned and I hope you like it. Thanks again, Fusion Hobbies. Guys, take a look at their website, they're great. Look at that stuff! Enough of me talking. Let's go ahead and get this box open, look what's inside, get this thing built. I'm so excited. There'll also be a driving video of the truck outside at the end as well. So what I've done here is just drawn all the parts across my desk so I can kind of see what's going on, including the instruction manual. Over here is some more parts, and then I've got the body shell and my tools. Let's go ahead and turn straight to page 1, where we can look at step 1, which is to assemble the motor mount assembly. Let's crack open parts bag A. We're going to go on to step 2, which is building the front differential. So that's the front differential gear sort of built there, and now we're on to step 3, which is the spur gear for this truck. So now we've built the gears, it's on to step 4, which is attaching them into the chassis. So we're on to step 5 now, which is attaching the drive gear. So we're going to build the front damper mounts now. Okay, we're on step 6, attaching the propeller shaft, and also we've got some more ball connectors to add to the rear of the truck.
That's all of the A bag complete. We're now on to B, and we're starting with the steering linkage. Parts bag B. And so now we are on the front lower arms on step 8. The next step for us is the attaching of lower arms, step number 10. We're on to step 11, which is the uprights. Step 12 is attaching those uprights. So that's bag B completed. We're on to the C parts bag, and we're on step number 13, which is building the rear differential. We're on to step 14, which is the axle shafts and the rear propeller joint. So we're on to step 15, which is attaching the rear differential. We're on to step 16, which is the rear axle. So I've just completed 17, which is attaching the rear body mount to the truck. Definitely impressed with the engineering on the rear axle there. That is really quite cool. So we're on the final step of the C bag, step 18, which is attaching the rear axle to the truck itself. I've attached the rear axle. As you can see, it is fully functional now. And we're going to look at building the dampers or shocks. We're on to parts bag D. So building shock absorbers takes a lot of time. They're quite complicated pieces of kit. You can see all the components here laid out in order, and this is the order they have to be installed in. So that's all 4 shocks built. I think it's time we fitted these to the truck. We now have shocks on all 4 corners, and we're on to parts bag E. And we're looking at checking the equipment first of all, number 23. Looks like we've got to plug it all in, make sure everything works to start with, set up the servo, get it neutral, make sure it works. Then we can look at putting it all together, fitting it into the steering linkage, and then look at the ESC next. It's time to get this kit out of the box. Just looking at the ESC manual, and for brushed motors we do not use the orange cable from the ESC. We're going to use channel 2 for the ESC, channel 1 for the steering servo. It wants you to match that and mimic that position. If I come over to the transmitter, you'll see it's on and my steering position is in neutral. If I switch this on, it should correct itself over now to be in exactly the same place as in the diagram. We're going to connect the steering servo to the steering linkage. It looks like quite a simple job. We just have to put the servo in here. Servo is now screwed in. We're all set! I've had a bit of a tidy up in the truck and I've managed to get all the cables out of the way. Now you may notice there are a few more connections into the channels on the receiver. That's for a little surprise that I'm hoping you guys are going to enjoy later on. Alright, so we are on step 26, gluing the tyres to the wheel rims. So we can move on to step number 27 now and fit these wheels to the truck. Step number 28 is exactly the same, we're just attaching the wheels to the rear axle. We've got to install the battery pack next in step number 29. So at the moment the truck is actually pretty much complete. Step 30 is to sort of trim the body shell in preparation for masking and then painting. So the greyed out area is the part we're cutting away, leaving just the clear part behind. looking good so far. Let's get masking and we'll get painting. I've also just drilled the accessory holes as well on the body shell. Okay guys, we have finished masking up this body shell. We're going in straight away here with the PS7 Tamiya orange. We're going to coat the majority of the body shell, and the mast area will be black and the glass area is going to be smoke. This is coat number 2 for the orange. So we're on to the third coat now. This is practically dry. We're just going to cover some of the dead spots where the paint needs a bit of a touch up to help it pop. This is how we're looking so far, guys. And remember, the plastic wrap is still on this on the outside of the shell, so we get to peel that off later on. This is now fully dry, and we've taken off the masking tape. So we're hitting this now with PS5. So that's the first coat done. We're going to let this dry, just to add that depth to it. Second coat is complete. So we are about to start smoking the windows out. I'm just removing the masking tape from the inside of the glass here, and we'll get painting. So we're looking at PS31 for the windows of the body. Okay, it just gives you that kind of real life kind of looking tint effect on a real car or truck. So there it is. That is the finished painted body shell, and it's come out pretty well. I've got all the stickers to apply to this next, and obviously then all of the accessories and the light kit as well. The front of this thing looks absolutely awesome. I've been stickering for about 20 minutes now, and I think I've had enough with the decals. I think what I've put on this at the moment looks pretty damn good, and I kind of want to leave it as that, to be honest. I'm just going to stick this down here on the back. Yeah, I think that's about right. Good ride height. Yeah, I think that's about right there. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tamiya Mercedes Unimog 425 kit build is complete. And here's the surprise. Onboard sound kit! There we have it, guys. That's the Tamiya build complete. If you stayed with me for all 20 minutes of this video, I am so impressed. So the timescale for building this truck was about 13 hours. That's 2 working days minus the 2-hour lunch. There's the truck. That's how it came out, and do you know what? I'm so impressed with this. I got hooked from the start building this. As soon as I started seeing some of the results, I just had to keep going, and I was doing this for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. And just look at it now, all complete, working, and that's sound kit. What did you think to that? So I suppose you guys are really looking forward to seeing this outside, driving, and then listening to that sound system. That video is next, so stay tuned on my channel for that. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll see that when it's published. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video with me. Thank you Fusion Hobbies for sending me this, hooking me up. And guys, take a look at their website in my description box right below this video if you're interested in building a Tamiya kit.